The Philadelphia Phillies have finished up their opening road trip in Miami against the Marlins and are returning to Philadelphia to Citizens Bank Park for their home opener, where they will be taking on the Milwaukee Brewers in this one. For the Phillies, Jake Arrieta, a familiar face, would be on the mound. He was pretty good in his first start of the season, going a 7 1/3, whip just over 1, not striking out many guys, had 2 walks, so he induced a lot of weak, soft contact in that first start. So let's see if he can do that here again today for the Phillies. And it would not start out very well for Arrieta. Lorenzo Cain would get on a first batter single, then he would walk Sogard, the second batter of the game, to put 2 runners on base without recording a single out in the game. Next up for the Brewers, Christian Yelich would come up to the dish, and he would be getting out of Citizens Bank Park a no-doubt home run out to right field. So 3 runs will score in the inning before an out is even recorded. Things not starting well for Arrieta at all. As you can see there, a long home run out to right there for Christian Yelich, a long towering fly ball that gives the Brewers a very early lead on the Phillies. As you can see here, the lining up for the Brewers, you saw the first 3 batters, but they would be followed by Herrera, Narvaez, Garcia, Smoke, Orlando Arcia, and Freddie Peralta, who is pitching for the Brewers today. And speaking of Freddie Peralta, there he is. He had a good first start for the Brewers, going 6 strong, a whip of 6.7, striking out 10 guys and only walking 1 batter. So a fantastic first start of the season for Peralta. See if he can keep it going. And your lineup for the Phillies: Remuto leading off, Harper, Segura, Hoskins, Gregorius, Kingery, Bruce, and Hazley, filling out the 1 through 8 spots on the day in the lineup. Harper getting his first appearance of the day, nobody on and 1 out. He would drive a shot right out to right field. That would be out near the wall. Yelich would not be able to play it, and it would roll to the right of him, and Harper is going to get all the way around to third. So a triple to start off the day for Harper. A rocket out the right field, though, just could not have been handled by Yelich, as you can see here on the replay. Hit out kind of a tweener play going towards the wall, and Yelich just could not make the play and had to chase the ball around there. And Segura would come up with 1 out in the first after Harper, and he would ground to third, but that would be enough to get Harper home. So the Phillies slash that lead to 2 runs for the Brewers, and Arrieta, he would settle in the second as he struck out Arcia right there, and then proceeding to get his man Cain, who singled off of him to start off the game. So 2 big strikeouts for Arrieta in the second as it kind of settles down. Kingery would come up in the bottom of the second, where he would hit one into the gap. Arcia would try to make a play, but Kingery is way too fast for a throw that was low anyway, not handled by the first baseman. Bruce would come up, he would get on with a hit by pitch, so now 2 runners on with 1 out. Adam Hazley would come into the dish, and he would get that one by the third baseman, and Kingery, he's going around third, and he is going to come in to score pretty easily on a bad throw. So the Phillies knocking that lead down to a 1-run lead. Hazley, great double by the 8th batter there. Remuto, he would come up runners on the corners, and he would hit one out to center field, but Cain would rob him of that hit there. A big catch by Cain, as of course if he missed that ball, that would have gone way in the center field and probably would have brought everyone home, kind of crushing the Brewers' early lead that's already been down to 1 run. So a fantastic play by Lorenzo Cain right there. Arrieta back to the top of the third, where he's facing Sogard, and Sogard is lining that one into right field where Kingery is diving on the play. However, that is not the whole story there. Kingery would get hurt on the play, nothing too serious, just had to come out of the game, but Logan Forsythe will be manning second base for the rest of this game. Now back to the top of the third with that man on first, Yelich. Arrieta would get his man who homered off of him in the first inning to strike out. Then Garcia up at the plate, he's swinging on a chasing a slider out of the zone. Now Harper back up in the bottom of the 5th, and he is going long. A towering fly ball to right, kind of resembling Yelich's fly ball earlier. That was a home run. Of course, this one is a little closer to the line, so a home run by Harper there. And in his first 2 at-bats of the game, he already has a triple and a home run. So possible that Harper is going cycling today, but we'll just have to keep an update on that as we go through this game. The Phillies crowd is, of course, loving their first home team home run of the season. Segura back up in the bottom of the 5th, Segura after Harper, and he's going to line that one into the gap. the second baseman will stop it, but Segura will still get on base. Here Hoskins coming up next, and he's singling out to right as well, getting right to the right fielder. So 2 men on with only 1 out in the top of the 5th inning, and that would bring up Logan Forsythe hitting for Kingery, of course, and he would just drop that one right in between the second baseman and right fielder, and 2 runs will score. So the Phillies take the lead on that hit. So 5-3 lead, totally erasing the Brewers' early lead that they got in the game. However, top of the 6th, Jay Bruce is going to be hit a ball out there and left, and he just cannot make the play. So that is going to be a double for the Brewers, and they already had a man on, so he's going to get into the 3rd. A kind of tough play for Bruce right here, as you can see. It was a line drive out the left, and he was kind of caught in between. Not a good reaction to it, and he's going to just have to chase that ball off to the fence. Justin Smoak would be up next for the Brewers, and he would line that one down the right field line. So that's going to empty the bases for the Brewers, and Smoak's going to get into second base for the Brewers. So that erases the 2-run Phillies lead that they just got back in the last inning. So a pretty back and forth game right here as the score is back to tied at 5, and Smoak definitely churning things up right there. And then next batter into the gap, and that gets down. Hazley chasing that one out to the wall, but that's going to be a double for Phillies. Actually, this is the top of the 7th, where Victor Arano is now taking the mound for Arrieta, and the wheels would pretty much come off with Arano on the mound. Sogard would bunt, and he would sacrifice to bring a runner home. So the Brewers take a 1-run lead, and Yelich would come back up to the plate, and he would go yard once again, kind of copying where Harper hit his last home run, going further towards the right field corner. So Yelich hitting his 2nd homer of the day. Arano blowing the close game that the Phillies had 8-5, and then here Narvaez would just open up this game. Another home run, a 2-run home run. So the Brewers taking a 10-5 lead with only 1 out still in the top of the 7th. So things really getting away from Arano and just blowing a lead. And as you can see here, Brock Holt would come up and he would get a hit, singling home another run. So the Brewers would take an 11-5 lead against the Phillies. Not good whatsoever. Forsythe would come up in the bottom of the 7th, and he would have a single with 2 outs, where Jay Bruce would get another opportunity to come up to the plate, and he would get on again. A walk for Bruce, so he's been on twice today. And then Hazel would come up, seeing if he could recreate the magic from earlier, and he does, lining one right up the middle, and that's going to bring Logan Forsythe home. So the Phillies having a little life here. 2 guys on with 2 outs. In the bottom of the 7th, and Neil Walker comes up, and Neil Walker drives one deep to right, and it would be foul. So Walker so close to what would have been a big home run, giving the Phillies 3 runs, but he just ends up grounding out the 2nd. So what could have been there would have definitely brought down the Brewers' lead. But Remuto would start off the bottom of the 8th for the Phillies with a single. So that would give the Phillies early life, where Brent Suter would come on for the top of the 9th, as the Phillies were not able to score in the 8th. But Rhys Hoskins, and here come the Phillies. He would lead off the bottom of the 9th with a solo home run. So life for the Phillies, cutting down that Brewers lead, of course. Neil Walker's home run would have helped in the previous inning. Of course, it ended up being foul. So with that home run, it would be a 10-11 game, but of course that home run was foul. Gregorius would come up in the bottom of the 9th. He would hit one out to center field and drop that one in there for a double. So still no outs in the inning, and Gregorius is going to test for 3, and he's going to get in there. So a triple with no outs in the bottom of the 9th would bring up Logan Forsythe. And Forsythe, he would hit one right back up the middle and score Gregorius. So the Phillies rallying here in the bottom of the 9th, making the score 11-8. So the Phillies really rallying here with Suter on the mound, Forsythe loving it, but here comes their closer, Josh Hader, one of the best lefty relievers in the game, and he would come on to slam the door for the Brewers, or at least attempt to. He was great last year. As you can see, whip of 0.8, 138 strikeouts in 75 innings, and he would come up against the left-handed Bruce. Easily gets him to chase the slider out of the zone for his first out of the game. Adam Hazley, he'd come up to the dish next for the Phillies, taking right there. So another lefty on lefty matchup, but the Phillies unfortunately don't really have many right-handed bats left on the bench to face the left-handed hitters. Hazley does work ahead in the count, so things are looking good for Hazley here. And Roman Quinn would pitch hit in the pitcher spot as Hazley would unfortunately get out. And Roman Quinn hits that one deep into the corner with a man on, but that one is going to be chased down by the left fielder. So close to getting out, so close to getting down for a extra base hit, but that would do it for the Phillies. They try to come back in the bottom of the ninth, but it's just not enough. Of course, that 3-run foul home run by Neil Walker would have tied the game with all of the heroics in the bottom of the ninth, but the Phillies come up just short as Josh Hader is able to slam the door on the Phillies and prevent a bottom of the ninth inning comeback. So that'll do it for the Phillies home opener, and thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next episode.